All right, with that, it's time to get into our person of interest today. Today we're looking into something that all of us struggle with, that is perhaps the toughest juggling act that we all do, having work, life and love in beautiful harmony. But Priyanka Raina, founder, mother and a wife, shares her secrets to achieving that sort of elusive work-life balance. From morning rituals to mindful eating, Priyanka opens up about how she stays centered, focused. Find out how she prioritizes her day, manages stress and keeps her relationships thriving even with the champion at home.
Here on the Breakfast Club, sort of, with Priyanka Raina. Priyanka, thank you for joining us. Priyanka, we're going to ask you the typical question we love asking people is, how do you eat your breakfast? How does the start of your day happen? But I just want to give our audiences a little bit of context.
Sure.
If they're a fan of yours, they already know that you're also the co-founder of your own company, which I think is a very important piece to know before I ask you this question, because now our audiences know that you're a busy, busy woman. You're a mother, you're running a company, you're also obviously a wife and all that other stuff, but those are big roles in themselves. So now tell us, how do you start your morning? When you start your morning, do you like look and there's like, you wake up and there are 10 notifications, work that needs to be done? What does it look like? How do you maintain your calm? Tell us everything.
I think the very first thing, of course, is to wake the kids up, getting them ready, sending them off to school, because once they're off to school, I have more time to myself and focus on other things. And then I start off with workout, because that's very important for me to start my day. And right after workout, I get into breakfast, and then I start working, of course.
What does breakfast actually look like, if we can ask?
So I'm a vegetarian. I eat very basic and simple meals. So it could be like a chila, and I prefer eating home-cooked and simple and smaller portions, to be honest. Chilas are my favorite. Poha, I love poha, so simpler things.
I want to ask you a question, and this is something that is just so difficult, which is why I want to ask you. Recently in the last few years, there's been this discussion around self-care.
Yeah.
For mums, is self-care a myth? Or do you think there is a way to take out the time, and how do you do it? Because you're not just a mum, right? You're also managing a company. Where does a word like self-care fit into any of that?
It's not a myth. It's an essential part of your life, and it's very, very important. By self-care, I do not mean that you have to spend hours looking after your skin, but it literally means like taking a pause and giving some time off to yourself, and focus on your fitness and your health, because health is the most important thing in your life. Because you can have hundreds of problems. I read this quote recently somewhere. You can have hundreds of problems in your life, but the moment your health is not good anymore, you just have one problem in life, which is your health.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. And a great way to put it into context.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've also possibly seen that with your, I'm assuming with your husband's, like all the teammates.
My mom, really... I would say with my mother, because I'm constantly having this conversation with her. If you do not eat in time, if you do not work out or go for walks or eat and sleep, you're not going to be able to take care of anything else in the whole wide world, basically.
So I want to ask you one last question then. You were talking a little bit about the fact that for you, exercise is a priority, right? But I do want to ask you this. Is it just exercise that you qualify as self-care? Are there other rituals you have? And I ask you that because right when you wake up in the morning, is there a one thing that you do, that you try to get in for yourself? Is there a way that you go about your morning, especially because mornings can be anxiety-inducing for many people?
No, absolutely. But I think it's very important that we kind of keep ourselves calm, because you have hundreds of things on your list which you want to get on with, right? So don't rush into it. First, take it easy, hydrate yourself, eat well, exercise, and then get on to
what's the secret of your calmness? Though, and I'm asking you that because you're saying be calm, but I'm like, but how? वो कैसे करें?
I mean, you just have to prioritize yourself, by being anxious, you're not helping anybody. And
so are you able to, when you're getting anxious, do you reframe your thoughts? Is that what happens? Do you realize?
I just get onto something which I enjoy. So it could be spending time with my kids, because I cannot be vulnerable in front of my kids, right? So I want to play with them, or maybe I cannot read books because I can't focus if I'm anxious. So only when I'm calm I can read books, but or maybe watch a series. And talk to somebody. Talking to someone is very, very important. Talk to your friends or family, whoever you're really close with. So, and then that is the way of kind of putting things off. And also I think it's really important to understand how you choose your battles, because there can be a lot of things which are bothering you, but you have to be really selective, like what is really important, because there can be things which are bothering but are really not important. So just put them off, you know.
And
just
being very clear about what's on top and what's...
Just have this clear mind, and that's very important.
I see, the reason I ask you all these questions is because sometimes we give this advice to people, but we don't tell them how.
No.
And it's been lovely speaking to you. It's been lovely understanding, okay, this is how you actually implement the stuff that we say needs to be done. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Thank you so much for having
Bye-bye.
me. See you.
Thank you.